Hello guys and welcome to Unit 10 of our lecture in which we will tackle about the internet and the World Wide Web. For this lesson, we are going to answer the following essential questions. What is the internet? What computers do on the internet? What is the World Wide Web? What is the relationship between the World Wide Web and the internet? For our intended learning outcomes, should be able to trace the origin of the internet and its evolution. We should be able to describe how the internet works and illustrate how the internet is used. Metaverse, the next big thing. A metaverse is a network of 3D virtual worlds focused on social connection. In futurism and science fiction, it is often described as a hypothetical iteration of the internet as a single universal virtual world that is facilitated by the use of virtual and augmented reality headset. The term metaverse has its origin in the 1992 science fiction novel Snow Crash as a portmanteau of meta and universe. Various metaverses have been developed for popular use such as virtual world platforms like Second Life, which was developed by Sony. Some metaverse iterations involve integration between virtual and physical space and virtual economies. Demand for increased immersion means metaverse development is often linked to advancing virtual reality technology. In 2019, the social network company Facebook, now called Meta, launched a social VR world called Facebook Horizon. In 2021, Facebook was renamed Meta Platforms, and its chairman, Mark Zuckerberg, declared company commitment to developing a metaverse. Many of the virtual reality technologies advertised by Meta Platforms remain to be developed. So, if Facebook conquered the internet through social networking site, Mark Zuckerberg now plans to conquer the virtual world, which we call as the metaverse, through the integration of various technology as well as through the use of a virtual reality headset, particularly Oculus Rift, which Facebook bought out and is currently being developed by Facebook. So the plan or their vision is to allow everyone to interact in a virtual space or the virtual world, which they call as the metaverse, which will only be possible, of course, through the internet. The internet and the World Wide Web. The internet is defined as a worldwide network connecting to a million of computers via dedicated routers and servers. And users can start sending and receiving different types of information. These types of information can be sent and received by electronic mails or emails, text or video chats, and or conferencing and computer programs, among others. Also, going back to the concept of metaverse, if you have not yet seen the film Ready Player One, I think that is the best example of a metaverse. Also, Wreck-It Ralph 1 and 2 could be considered as a metaverse for different objects or different persons or different ideas interact in a single world or a single 3D virtual world. PLDT, also known as Philippine Long Distance Cell Phone Company, is the largest network company in the Philippines. Smart Communications and Digital Mobile Philippines or Sun Cellular are under PLDT. So formerly Sun Cellular was considered as the third network in the Philippines until they were bought out by Smart. So now, Sun Cellular is actually being absorbed into Smart. So all previous users of Sun Cellular are now using the Smart connection or the Smart network. Globe Telecom, acquired by Intel Telecommunications, commonly known as Buy and Tel or Bayan. So Globe Telecom also acquired by Intel Telecommunications, which was a competitor to PLDT before, and which was previously owned by the Lopez's or the previous owner of the SCBN. So there are also other current networks like Dito or Dito Telecommunity Corporation, which was formerly known as Mindanao Islamic Telephone Company or SLATEL, which is a company in the Philippines engaged in the business of multimedia and IT. It is a consortium of Davao businessman Dennis Uy within a corporation and Chinese state-owned China Telecommunications Corporation, which is the parent company of China Telecom. We also have Converge ICT Solution, or commonly referred to as Converge, formerly known as Comclark in Pampanga, a telecommunication service provider in the Philippines, operating fiber optic broadband networks, internet protocol television, cable television, and cable internet in the country. It has around 1,691,555 fiber X subscribers as of December 2021, capturing 54% of the market share in the country. And then lastly, which hopefully we will be seeing before the end of this year, is Starlink, which is a satellite internet constellation operated by SpaceX, which is owned by Elon Musk. It provides satellite internet access coverage to 32 countries where its use has been licensed and aims for global coverage. As of April 2022, it consists of over 2,100 mass-produced small satellites in low Earth orbit or LEO, which communicates with designated ground receivers. The Internet, then and now. So the Internet started from ARPANET, which is Advanced Research Project Agency Wide Area Network. This was established by the U.S. Department of Defense in the 60s so that military research unit could collaborate or partner with business and government laboratories. The Internet, so other universities and U.S. institutions were connected to the ARPANET, resulting in the growth of ARPANET, different from everyone's expectation. So ARPANET then attained the name of Internet. World Wide Web is the advancement of hypertext-based technology, has provided the channels for displaying text, graphic, animations, videos, etc. Its other features of enabling easy search and offering navigation tools prompted the Internet's unpredictable worldwide growth. The Internet, then and now in the Philippines. So, in the Philippines, started as a bulletin board system, which is a computer or an application dedicated to the sharing or exchange of messages or other files on a network. So, this sample bulletin board system, which is in 1986 called the STAR BBS, was formed by Efren Tertius and James Chua of Word Text Systems. In 1987, Philippine FidoNet Exchange is a local network for communication between several PBSs in or bulletin board systems in Metro Manila was formed. FidoNet. In 1990, the Academic Network of Universities and Government Institutions, which is a committee helmed by Arnie Del Rosario of the Ateneo Computer Technology Center, was tasked with exploring the possibility of creating an academic network of universities and government institutions by the National Computer Center under William Torres. Recommendations were made but were not implemented. From 91 to 93, emergence of email gateways. So the emergence of email gateways and services in the Philippines, including some from multinational companies like Intel, Motorola, and Texas Instrument, which use a direct internet connection called X.25 or UUCP protocol. Local firms TTPI, Philcom, and PLDT also operate in commercial X.25 networks. Local and international email to find the net users was introduced. In June 1993, PhilNet project was born. With the support of the DOST and the Industrial Research Foundation, the PhilNet project, or PHNet, was born. The PhilNet Technical Committee, composed of computer buffs working at the DOST MIS, Joseph Andres, PICAS TRD, Carlo Peña, Winifredo Agabo, and Advanced Science and Technology Institute, Miguel de Mayuga, and representatives from Ateneo de Manila University, Richie Losada and Arnel Rosario, De La Salle, Kelsey Cartigango, UP Diliman, Rodel Atanasio, UP Los Baños, Alfonso Caranda, Xavier University, Mongbin Cadiz, and St. Louis University, Ian Generalao, would eventually play a significant role in connecting the Philippines to the global internet. In July 1993, phase one of the PhilNet project shifted into full gear. It proved to be successful as students from partner universities were able to send emails to the internet, routing them to PhilNet's gateway at the Ateneo de Manila University, which was connected to another gateway at the Victoria University of Technology in Australia via IDV dial-up using case modem. It's November 1993, 12.5 million grants to buy equipment and these communications line were provided. For the first year, running costs awarded by the DOST to buy equipment and these communications line needed to kickstart the second phase of PhilNet, led by Dr. Rudy Villarica. March 29, 1994, at around 1:15 a.m., the Philippines' first connection to the internet at the PLDT Network Center in Makati City happened. March 29, 1994, at 10:18 a.m., PhilNet 64 kilobytes of connection was live. So in 1994, the first internet connection was established in the Philippines 30 years after it was invented. So the Philippine statistics, under Philippine statistics, the Philippines has a population of 110 million point 3, 110.3 million in January 2021. It increased by 1.5 million or 1.3% between January 2020 and 2021. 49.8% of the population is female and 50.2% of the population is male. 37.6 of the Philippines population lives in urban centers, while 52.4 lives in rural areas. There are 73.91 million internet users in the Philippines as of January 2021. It increased by 4.2 million or 6.1% between 2020 and 2021. It stood at 67% of the entire internet penetration in the Philippines in January 2021. For social media, there are around 89 million social media users in the Philippines as of January 2021, increased by 16 million or 22% from 2020 to 2021. The number of social media users in the Philippines is equal to 80.7% of the total population in January 2021. For mobile connections, there are around 152.4 million mobile connections in the Philippines as of January 2021. It decreased by 15 million or 8.9% between 2020 of January to January 2021. It is equivalent to 138.2% of the total population as of January 2021. So as you can see, there are more cell phones per user in the Philippines. So it's a possibility that at least one Filipino has more than one phone, or three out of or one out of three Filipinos has more than one phone that he or she is using. The Internet to environment, future empowerment. The Internet 2. The Internet 2 is not-for-profit networking consortium founded in 1996 by 34 university research institutions in the US. It provides a collaborative environment where US research and education organizations work together and develop advanced technologies and innovative solutions such as telemedicine, digital libraries, and virtual laboratories to assist education research and community development. The Internet 2 network, as of May 2016, comprises of 317 U.S. higher educational institutions, 81 corporations, 64 leagues members, 42 regional and state education networks, and more than 65 national research and education networking partners across 100 countries. The Internet Society, or ISA, an American nonprofit organization founded in 1992 to provide leadership in Internet-related standards, education, access, and policy. Its mission is to promote the open development, evolution, and use of the Internet for the benefit of all people throughout the world. The World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, is the main international standard organization for the World Wide Web, founded in 1994 and currently led by Sim Tim, Tim Berners-Lee, pictured here. He's also credited as the father of the World Wide Web. The consortium is made up of member organizations which maintain full-time staff working together in the development of standards for the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web engages in education, outreach, develop software, and serves as an open forum for discussion about the web. The Internet is open to anyone who can access it. Jobs the Internet can do: move, transfer, or assign a computer's information from one place to another. It can be in the form of text, document, images, audio, video, and software programs, among others. So these are the following available internet services. We have email, website, social networking, personal publishing or blogs, Internet of Things, Internet search, voice and video communication, file transfer and data sharing, remote desktop, cloud services, and cloud computing. So how does data travel to the internet? Data is split into bits called packets. Each packet travels to the internet by a series of checkpoints. One possible journey of a packet could be from the application, it's broken into packets, sent to the router, sent to the modem, sent to the local hosting or ISP, then the local provider, border gateway protocol, and the additional network exchanges, long haul provider, local ISP of destination, then through the modem of the destination, router to destination, packets are reassembled in destination server or computer. It's received and is then sent to the application. So that is how data possibly moves to the internet. Transmission media make up the internet backbone, allow information or data exchanges between networks in several locations around the country, such as La Union in the northern part and Batangas, Cavite, and Davao down south. So these are the map of different undersea cables found in the North Pacific Ocean, including the Philippines. So as you can see, these cables interconnect countries between different countries. So this is the national broadband backbone. So these states the different areas where there is internet, where there are towers, and where there are no internet connections available. Circuit switching. One of the most common scheme utilizable communications, such as the case of ordinary telephone calls, and efficient because it is connected with your friend or relative over the phone all the time. The circuit is connected and therefore blocking other people from using it. The traditional dial-up connection to the net, in which a computer dials a telephone number to reach the ISP, uses circuit switching. It appears inefficient because browsing the internet and using the telephone at the same time is not possible. Packet switching is a mode of transmission in which messages move into smaller parts called packets, sent independently and then reassembled at the ultimate destination. Suppose an email from the Philippines is sent to someone in South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, China, Italy, and the US and other countries. Instead of having a knotty circuit between the home in the Philippines and those in the mentioned countries and sending the email in one go, the email is broken into tiny pieces, which happens at the back of the system. So these are the different pros, cons, and features of circuit and packet switching. What computers do on the internet? So computers can be a server, which is a computer that is designed to process any requests for data and delivers data to other client computers over a local network or the internet. It is a software or hardware device that accepts and responds to requests made over the network. It will also be a client, which is a computer or device that gets information from a server. Could be an Active Directory domain service or ADDS, a computer that holds the user accounts, computer accounts, organizational units, and application services. Could be a DNS or domain name system server, which is a machine that helps a dynamic host configuration protocol server or DHCP server. It configures IPv4 and IPv6 addresses specifically and giving names to each IP address updates root recognition. So through the use of IPv4 and IPv6, this serves as the unique addresses of all the computers in the world. IPv6 was developed in order to address the limitation brought about by IPv4 because of the billions of computers that are connecting in the world. IPv4 addresses have been exhausted, and right now we are already using IPv6. DNS method that the internet uses to store domain names and their corresponding IP addresses. Domain name is a text version of an IP address. For example, domain name is web hosting insights. The extension is .com. Subdomain is triple W, and the prefix is the HTTPS or HTTP. What was the first domain? The first internet domain was symbolics.com, registered by Symbolics, a Massachusetts computer company on March 15, 1985. File server, computer on a network used to provide users on a network with access to files. Web server is a computer collection of computers used to deliver web pages and other content to multiple users. Print server is a device that connects printers to client computers through the internet. Computer is a standalone device responsible for managing one or more printers on a network. Router, hardware device designed to receive, analyze, and move incoming packets to another network. May also be used to convert packets to another network interface, drop them, and perform other actions relating to a network. So different types of router. We have the Wi-Fi router or wireless. We have the router, the core router, edge router, and virtual router. For the Wi-Fi or wireless router, provides Wi-Fi access to smartphones, laptops, and other devices with Wi-Fi network capabilities. They may provide standard Ethernet routing for a small number of wired network devices and can act as a combination router and modem, converting an incoming broadband signals from your ISP. So this is how they look like. Notice the antenna to transmit the Wi-Fi signal. Router is short for bridge router. A router is a networking device serving as both a bridge and a router. Core router is a router in a computer network that routes data within a network but not between networks. An edge router refers to any apparatus acting as an entry point into the core of the network. It acts as a checkpoint at the border between two countries. When data attempts to enter the network, it is inspected according to certain security procedures and are either allowed or denied entry. Virtual router is a backup router used in a virtual router redundancy protocol setup. The World Wide Web, referred to as a collection of public websites connected to the internet worldwide, together with the client computers, which include PCs, laptops, iPads, and cell phones, accessing its content. The World Wide Web, or the triple W or W3 or web, is a graphical interface for the internet that was first introduced to the public in August 6, 1991 by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. 3 days later, on August 23, 1991, it was available to everyone. What is a World Wide Web browser? The first internet browser was the World Wide Web, later changed to Nexus and invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1980. Should I capitalize the World Wide Web? When using its full form, World Wide Web, each W should be capitalized. Web technologies. We have HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and web servers and web browsers. HTML is a standard markup language used for creating new pages, classified as a set of markup symbols or codes appended in a file intended for presentation on a World Wide Web browser page. So it is a markup language. It is not a programming language. So what are the difference between a programming and a markup language? A markup language is used for annotating a document in a way that is syntactically distinguishable from the text. It's interpreted by a browser, and the samples can be HTML, XML, and XHTML, and then it is used to present information. Whereas a programming language is a formal language containing a set of instructions used to produce various kinds of output. It is compiled by a compiler or interpreted by an interpreter. Examples could be C, C++, Java, Python, and assembly. It is used to give instructions to a computer to perform a particular task. Hypertext Transport Protocol, or HTTP, is the set of standards allowing users of the World Wide Web to interchange information seen on web pages. Port 80 is the standard port for HTTP connections. Web servers and browsers is a software application for recovering, presenting, and navigating information on the World Wide Web. There are different browser applications that are currently used in the World Wide Web, such as Edge, Chrome, IE, Firefox, Safari, and more. So web browsers request the internet, the internet requests it to the web servers, and the web servers respond to the internet, which send it to the web browsers on our PC. So are the list of the most commonly used internet browsers. We have Chrome, released by Google on December 2008. We have Edge, introduced with Windows 10, replacement for IE, Internet Explorer. Microsoft IE, or MSIE, introduced in August 16, 1995. It came with Windows 95. We have Firefox, first released in September 23, 2002 as Mozilla browser. Opera, first released on April 1, 1995. We have Safari, introduced in June 30, 2003. And Amazon Silk, released on November 15, 2011. So this is how the World Wide Web today by market share. So as you can see, different browsers in their market share. Leading the way is Google Chrome. For basic stages of how the World Wide Web works. First is connection, and then request, and then response, and then close. Searching for the information on the web. So web administrators design, develop, maintain, and troubleshoot websites. They code websites, collaborate with development teams, set up tools to monitor website traffic, analyze website traffic, and address usability issues. We have two mainly managed search tools, the dictionary, the subject dictionary, and search engine. Subject dictionary is an online database of website and online information set up by subject category created and maintained by human editors. Search engine are access on the internet, searches a database of information according to the user's query, and uses software called spiders and crawlers to routinely scour the web to identify and index web pages. A spider is a program or script written to browse the World Wide Web in a systematic manner for the purpose of indexing website or marking the website. May also be referred to as a web bot, web crawler, or web robot. As you can see, is how a web spider or a crawler works. So it checks for the dictionary, online help, and contact list, and then it indexes the pages that it was able to check, and then it marks or indexes the data where the data was found and processes and takes them up. Process data moves to other computers, files, and or portions of the computer. Techniques used to improve web searches. Use specific words and place the more important terms first in search text. Use quotation marks to create exact phrases, and then listing all possible spellings. So some of the most useful Google search tricks. Number one, use quotes to search for an exact phrase. So if you place double quote, it will search the exact phrase. Use an asterisk within quotes to specify unknown or variable words, just like in database. Use asterisk to signify that that is unknown or that can be any number of characters. Use the minus sign to eliminate results containing certain words. So minus sign means do not include a particular word from the search. Search website for keywords. So you can use certain keywords such as PDF. You can compare using Bursors or VS. You can use define to search for the meaning of words. You can also search for images using Google. So that is our lecture for this week, Unit 10. Thank you and take care.